All right. So, this is one of my favorite ways to cool down at the end of a stressful experience, or if I just feel like doing a little bit of math for fun. I know that's not everybody's thing, but this is not too challenging to do. There's some tricks that I can show you along the way as well. This is called Kakuro. It is a puzzle similar to Sudoku, which a lot of people are familiar with. So, it has a similar Sudoku concept where you can only use the numbers 1 through 9 in each row. But this time, you are going to be adding up numbers together to get certain sums. Okay, so here we have 17. So that means that the sum of the two numbers here needs to add up to 17. Now, since we're only using numbers 1 through 9, that one is a little bit easier for us because we can only use either 8 or 9, because 8 and 9 are the only pair that adds up to 17 that are numbers that are less than 10. Okay. Similar here, we have 4. The only two numbers that I can use to add up to 4 that don't repeat are 1 and 3. I could use 2 and 2, but I can't repeat numbers in the same row. So I like to look for my pairs that are going to help me out here. So I have another 4 right here. So I have 1 and 3 are my options here, but I have 12 here. So that means that I need to have two numbers add up to 12 horizontally, and over here 4 vertically. Now, 1 plus 11 gives me 12. I can't put 11 there. I have to have at least I can only have a single digit number. So what I'm going to do is, I know this is going to be 3, so I'm going to start filling in some numbers here. And 3 plus 1 gives me 4. Now, since this had to be 3, I know that 12 is equal to 3 plus 9, so I can fill that in. Now, this 14, even though I had several options for 14, I have 5 and 9, I have 6 and 8, so, and then can go either direction. But since I have 9 here, I know that this has to be 5. So what we do with our Kakuro puzzle is we strategically work through the ones that are really obvious and that we know are going to work, and then we work our way kind of backwards. Okay. So for 15, and when there's 5 spots for 15, that means I have 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5 add up together to make that one work. So I know that these 3 here need to be 2, 3, or 4. Okay. 6, when there's 3 of them, I have to have 1, 2, or 3. So I need to have either 2 or 3 here, which means 4 needs to go in one of those 2 spots. Okay. So again, I'm going to kind of work my way through. 16 has to be 7 and 9, and 17 has to be 8 and 9. So if they meet up, that means that 9 is the only number they have in common. And I'm just going to work my way through the puzzle. Now 34, if there's 5 of them, it has to be 7, 8, 9, 4, and 6. 24 has to be just 7, 8, and 9. Well, in this row right here, or this column right here, I already used 7 and 9. I can't repeat something, so this has to be an 8. So that one here has to be 7 or 9, and this one here has to be 7 or 9. Okay? So again, I like to just go through and find my ones that I know right off the bat, and then fill them in from there. Okay, so here, down here, I know for 7s, I like to identify my patterns. Like I mentioned before, I know for 15, 5, it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. For 34, it has to be 4, 6, 7, 8, 9. For 24, it has to be 7, 8, 9. So for 6, 1, 2, 3, and for 7, 1, 2, 4, if there are 3 digits to fill in. So 4 has to be 1 or 3, as I previously mentioned. Well, 7 is 1 plus 2 plus 4 if you have 3 digits. So I know there can't be a 4 there. So that helps me fill in that spot there. Okay. And then we just continue to go through and fill in what we know. And from there, we are going to continue to complete the puzzle. 23 has to be 6, 8, 9, so that helps me out there. And since that can't be 8, that has to be our 6. That has to be our 8, and that leaves 4 here for us. Okay, so to enjoy the puzzle, you're going to just continue to fill in the spots and make sure you find the sum of whatever number is included. Now, in case you didn't catch on, I do want to mention one last thing, and that is if it's to the left, that means it's the horizontal sum. And if it's to the top, that means it's the vertical sum. Okay, you won't see any that are to the right and go upward. It's always either to the left that we have a sum, or it's down that we have a sum. Okay. And for those of you who are not particularly math brained, sum does mean that we are adding the numbers together. So here we have 8 plus 9 equals 17. 17 equals 8 plus 9. 16 is 9 plus 7. Okay. Now, the really nice thing about this site in particular is I can click check, and it will take a look for me and see if everything is right. Now, let's say I got something wrong. Let's say I put a 4 here. I can't put a 4 there, but let's say I put a 4 there. And when I click check, it will give me a little bit of a hint here, okay? But I strongly encourage you to give it a shot. Try it on whatever level you need to. We have a lot of options over here. We have easy, intermediate, and hard with the smaller ones. This is a 8x8, so it's a little bit more of a challenging one, kind of in the middle. But you can go through easy, intermediate, hard, challenging, or expert. You can go through from the beginning all the way to the end and see how many levels you can beat, or you can just pick whichever you're feeling in the mood for. If you're a beginner, maybe go with the easy small one first just to give it a try. And if you have been doing these for a while, then maybe you want to, shoot for the challenging large, not square, but rectangle. Okay. Have lots of fun. Enjoy.